Well, welcome to Paranormal Tuesday. Got the shirt. Love the shirt. It's Ghostbusters, but he's inside a pumpkin. Felt it was kind of appropriate for today. Well, today's journey is going to take us to Fort Mifflin. This was an investigation set for Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And back in 2010, super excited, went through one of those travel sites, kind of prepaid for everything to, save some money. So I'm stoked. So I book my flight, room, do all that stuff. Find out like they have some non-refundable rates that are going to save me some money. So of course I go with those options because I'm set. I'm ready. Let's do this. And I go to the website. There's a message board that I went to. That's where we're setting up everything through this group. And a few days before the trip, somebody comments about the date change. I'm like, the date change? What do you mean the date change? Apparently, they've changed dates. Uh, Wait a second. No, 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 no. So I get on the phone. I call up the travel company I've booked everything through, and I've kind of spoiled myself on the actual investigation day. I'm going to spend about a week down there. Investigation day, I've kind of went up, staying in a nicer hotel, and I talked to them, and they're like, okay, so there would be $100 fee for the airline ticket to change that. So I'd get my money less $100, and then it'd be applied to a short-term flight. And especially, as this was back in 2010, you really wanted to book your airline tickets like 2 months in advance to save money. And last-minute flights were usually a lot more expensive. So I'd be out quite a bit of money there. $100, but then I had to pay whatever the difference is in the airfare. But the hotels are booked. They're confirmed. They don't change those. And like I said, I kind of booked a really nice hotel for my last day. I'd be out all that money. I would get zero back. Well, there goes that idea. The amount I paid for the trip was, far less. So I'm just out the money I spent on the investigation. But I'm going to go on the trip because I'm going to be out that money too, and I'm pot committed, so might as well just go on the trip and make the best of it. So that's what I do. Go out there. Um, I don't know. It was the first day or the second day. I think it was probably the second day. I get there. I find out that there's a train a couple blocks up the road from my hotel that will take me into the city, into downtown. So I get on there, go check it out, head over to kind of find like the visitor center, and I see this line of people, and they're all in line getting tickets to do a tour of Independence Hall, which is a couple blocks up the road. And they're free tickets, so I'm like, yeah, let's check out Independence Hall. I mean, that's America happened here. The Constitution of the United States, the Declaration of Independence. Um, that was signed there, so it's like, yeah, let's check that out. So I get my free ticket, go up there. Of course, up on the towers where the Liberty Bell was hung. I got to go in there, got to visit the room. They had like George Washington's chair there. I got to see that. Um, and of course, Liberty Bell was hung in there, but where's it at now? Oh, it's across the street, and it's also free to go see. So let's go across the street. Went across the street, checked out the Liberty Bell. Kind of walked around a little bit, and ended up they had the Ride the Duck. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. It's like a aqua vehicle that drives through town, and then it's, as I said, aqua, so it can actually drive in the water. So I did that, checked it out, kind of saw some things. So I was looking around, kind of made mental notes of where stuff was at, and went over to like Betsy Ross's house. A person who this is a trivia question that you can get a lot of people on. Who designed the American flag? Because everybody will say Betsy Ross. No, she sewed the flag. She didn't design it. Um, I don't even remember the answer to that one, but yeah. So you know, I got to see where she was from. Got to see where the flag was sewn at, and across the street is the gravesite of Benjamin Franklin. And like I said, he's, you know, Independence Hall free, Liberty Bell free. The cemetery charge you charge an admission fee to a cemetery? Uh, uh, uh I'm completely dumbfounded by this one. I'm not paying an admission fee to go to a cemetery. What the heck? And it's funny too because his thing is like right up against a gate where you can see it from the outside. So I'm like, well, I can see it. Uh, but yeah, I'm not paying an admission fee to go in there. Which is kind of, I thought it was always funny. And then from there we went to trying to my notes here real quick. I went to the town hall, which I guess I believe they had just sold, not really sold out, but they just closed the sales to do a tour of the top. So it was already done for the day. And they're like, it's just you. I'm like, yeah, it's just me. Yeah, let's get them in here. So they snuck me in. I got to go do a tour. Amazing up there. You get to see the, you can see the, what is it, the art museum, which is the historic stairs that Rocky runs up at the end of, well, not at the end, but you know, during the train scene from Rocky. Just amazing views up there. And somebody was telling me about the Comcast center that's over there, and that they had this amazing, massive television. So I'm like, oh, that'd be kind of cool to go see. So I go down there. I walk in and I'm like looking around, like, you know, they're saying there's this massive TV here. I'm like, where's the TV at? Like, I don't see no TV. And then all of a sudden the walls just change because they're made up of these television sets, which I didn't even, you can even necessarily tell that they're TV sets. But yeah, I mean, it's just this massive wall and it changes. And you can look up Comcast Center. I think it's called the Comcast Experience. You can see it online and stuff like that. So that was quite cool to see. Now, from here, I had rented a car, but it was cheaper to go like a day or two without the car. Like it was like half the price. So I ended up taking the shuttle. I was gonna take the shuttle to the airport because then from the airport they offer pickup to the car rental place. So I was just gonna do that. But then you know I told the shuttle driver from the hotel because they had a free shuttle. You know I was renting a car and he's like, oh well, who's it through? Well, I'll just drive you to that. So it was more direct. They just took me right up to the car rental place, went in there, got my car. And then today I decided, oh, let's just go to Fort Mifflin. I can still see it. I just won't be able to do the whole lockdown investigation. So I go in there, and as I get up there, there's a thing that says, you know, go visit the office to pay admission. So, okay, well, let's go to the office. I go up there and run into the person that's running that. And she's like, oh, where are you from? I'm like, oh, I'm from Oregon. And like, what brings you down here? I'm like, well, what brings me down here was I was supposed to be doing a paranormal investigation with this group. But they changed the dates. I was like, and she's like, oh, yeah, we changed dates with them a long time ago. I'm like, yeah, but they just told me like last week. And I'm like, I was already pot committed. I couldn't make changes to my travel. So I'm just decided just to go. And she's like, oh, you're just making the most of it. I'm like, yeah, that's all you can do, really. She's like, well, let me ask you, how would you like to do an investigation tomorrow? Oh, yeah, tomorrow was actually the day I was supposed to do the investigation. I'm like, well, yeah, I would love to. And she's like, well, let me make some calls. We have some people down here. Well, we have the Travel Channel. It's going to be doing a documentary. So let me just make some calls and see what we can do. So she's like, before you leave, just come back up here. So, I go check out the place. Really cool place. You saw the history. I remember watching Ghost Hunters when they had done their investigation down here. So I kind of went down to that little. There's a spot where Jay and Grant were at, and there was like this small little tunnel thing that Grant had crawled into. And as he turned, he like saw like a face, and it freaked him out. Just all of a sudden, come face to face with somebody that's not there. And so I kind of found that spot and crawled back in there. you know, I'm a big guy. I'm Gumby. It's funny. Like people half my size won't be able to get into places, but I can just kind of maneuver my body. I think it's all the DDP yoga. It makes me a little bit more flexible. So, I had crawled into the spot back there. Cool opportunity. Definitely a bit like kind of claustrophobia kind of sits in because you've got like all this ground on top of you and you're like just smashing yourself going through this small crevice of a tunnel. Like you can't even go through this way. I mean, you're literally like crab walking, trying to get into this area. But yeah, amazing place. And as I got done, I went back up to the office. She's like, "Yeah, everything's good. So we'll see you tomorrow. Come by this time." I'm like, "Okay." So that's awesome. No chance of this investigation. But I didn't let it bring me down. Like it was horrible news. I was so looking forward to this. And I'm like, well, I'm just going to make the most of it. I'm going to still go out here. I'm going to still have fun. I can't do what I want to do, but that doesn't mean I can't have fun. And then all of a sudden, this huge door opens for me. And now, not only am I doing this investigation, the Travel Channel is down here filming my investigation. If you guys are wondering, yes, this is World's Most Terrifying Places in America, Volume 3. Every Halloween they'll show that. They show it throughout the year too. So if you ever do see it, I'm in the show for like 0.3 seconds. I mean, if you blink, you'll miss me. But I am in the show. So World's Most Terrifying Places, Volume 3 on the Travel Channel. Check your local listings. So that day, I had the rental car. So I drove down to the museum. Parked my car there. And of course, you got to. Getting strong now. Ran up those stairs. Did the little, Adrian. I ran up the rocky steps. They have like a Rocky statue out there. And then a couple blocks up the road is Eastern State Penitentiary. I would love to investigate here. Not investigating here, but I had the opportunity to go visit Eastern State. So definitely took advantage of that. I'm playing I had purchased the walking tour guide. And listen to the voice. I'm like, I know this voice. Why do I know this voice? It's Steve Buscemi. Steve Buscemi's the narrator who tells you the stories about the people down there. An amazing place. I got to see the Al Capone suite. It's just funny looking at a regular cell and then you have the cell of Al Capone. Yeah, Al Capone had his own suite at this prison. If you ever look at I've got photos on some of my sites, but yeah, it's just amazingly different. The regular cell and Al Capone's cell. But yeah, I got to do the tour there, and then ding, ding, ding! It's our main event. I went down there. As I get there, I kind of got there before everybody else. So one of the people are like, "Oh, so you're the guy that traveled away from Oregon?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Dude, here, come with me." And they were taking me to areas. They're like, "We're gonna take this area that I'm taking to now. We didn't even take TAPS to. TAPS is the Atlantic Paranormal Society. It was a group behind the Ghost Hunters. They're like, yeah, they didn't come from Oregon. They came from the East Coast. You're our special VIP." So they took me up in this room and had like all these relics and stuff like that. And they're showing me like where you could see people had written their names that had stayed there as prisoners and stuff. And they're signed in like pencil, and it's like still on the wall. And it's just really cool. And like, kind of seeing the stuff, and like the person would hand me something. He's like, "Yeah, that's a bone." I'm like, "Wait, what?" Just they're showing me all these different artifacts. Amazing, amazing people down there. I got to watch a lot of the behind the scenes stuff as they're, as Travel Channel was there. They started filming, so I got to stand, behind the camera and watch as they filmed stuff and edited. Well, not edited, but kind of lined up the shots and did multiple takes. I got to watch a lot of that stuff. And then we did the investigation, and Travel Channel followed us around, recording us. And for me, like there's a scene where like this girl passes out. I mean, for me, it's like, yeah, I don't know her. I can't vouch for her. I don't know. Uh, Seemed a little off to me. Um, but I don't know the person. I don't know their integrity. I don't know anything about them. Uh, I was kind of disappointed. Like, it was cool. Like, Travel Channel actually did the whole interview with me. Kind of disappointed only being in there for 0.3 seconds. But I mean, still amazing, amazing opportunity. I'm so grateful for it. Plus, every year I get to watch myself on TV for a little blink. So I mean, that's awesome. And it was cool too. Like during the investigation, one of the spots, like Travel Channel, had kind of wrapped up everything, so they weren't there this time. I believe it was me and the girl who passed out. We ended up going to the blacksmith shop, and we have EMF detectors. EMF detectors measures electricity in the air. Now, I mean, if you walk up to like a circuit breaker, it's going to go up in the red. Because that's a lot of power. And that's kind of what it's designed for, is like, so you could tell like if a wire you're going to touch is live or not. You touch a live wire, you don't want to do that. You get electrocuted. You die. But then, oh, well, there's no power going here. I'm safe to touch this. So that's what it's used to do, is kind of measure electricity and how much electricity is there. In the paranormal field, we use that also because we believe that spirits manifest energy, and it can help determine if there's something there. Especially if you just get like a free floating thing of energy, like like if you're doing this like up against a house, there's wires there, so of course you're measuring something. But if it's moving in the air, why is there electricity in the air? Like, it that doesn't make sense, especially when it's moving. I mean, if it's steady, I mean, maybe there could be something above you, below you, something there. But if it's just moving around, it's like, it doesn't make sense. That's above normal. It's paranormal. So she starts just smashing stuff together. Like, she's grabbing tools, bang, 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 like these metal pipes. Like, do you like it when I mess with your stuff? Does it bother you I'm banging your beep? And it was the K2 meter, woof, woof, woof. Like, it's going from nothing to red, nothing to red, nothing to red. I mean, I don't know. Hitting two pipes together doesn't really necessarily create that much energy. So, I mean, that was an experience. And I think, too, if someone's taking my stuff and, my tools that I made my living off of and are being disrespectful, it's going to piss me off. So, I mean, I get it. The other one that happened that was interesting was I was over, I think I was just over by the restroom. I think a couple of people had gone in there, and there were people I was working with. So I'm just kind of standing there, and all of a sudden behind me I hear this little like child giggle. So I turn around, I go running out there. This is a big empty field area behind me. There's no one out there, and there were no kids there. So, I mean, that was another one that was like, oh, wait a second. I know what I heard. I heard children laughing, or at least a child, and there's no child. So, really cool place to investigate. So happy, so humbled for the opportunity. Amazing place. recently I got the opportunity of going back there. It's kind of funny. At one time, I kind of heard like some movement in a room, and as I go in there, like this time, like there was like no electricity, so I turned on my phone on my flashlight phone, or the flashlight on my phone, and I could hear like someone scuffling around in there. And as I turned that on, there's no one in that room. There's a doorway, one doorway in and out. I heard someone moving around. I get in there, ain't no one in that room. So I mean, even daytime, you can catch stuff out there. But yeah, if you're in the Philadelphia area, you want something kind of off the norm. I mean, everyone kind of has their own things they do in Philadelphia, but Fort Mifflin, way cool place to visit. Like I said, you'll find stuff in the middle of the day too. It doesn't have to be at night, so I would definitely recommend it. Well, thank you for checking out today's Paranormal Tuesday. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you've ever been there. What's one of the scariest places you've ever been to? Please leave those comments down below. I'd love to read those. You can always email me, realkidcrazy, crazy with a K, at gmail.com. I've got my address down below, and you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all at Real Kid Crazy. Stay crazy, my friends. We'll see you back here. Well, we'll see you tomorrow, Healthy Wednesday, and we'll also be back next week with a new edition of Paranormal Tuesday.